What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another new bike review, and this is a familiar one because this is the Surron Motors Roadrunner 3. Recently on our channel in the last couple months we did a review of the Roadrunner 2. This is the new latest and greatest version. Let's get it unboxed, out on the road, compare it to the previous generation, talk about its specs, and see if it's worth the money. Let's get into it. Let's get this baby opened up. Okay, this is a familiar looking sight. We got our folded handlebar right here in the foam. We got our keys, we got our multi-tool, and we got our foot pegs. Put those right here. This looks very similar to the previous generation. Let's go over what's different after we get it assembled. As we get this thing put together, these little bikes are really cool because they have no moving parts, basically. You got no chain, you got no sprockets, you got no pedals, and because of that, because it has hub motors front and rear, it's pretty much dead silent when you ride it. So I'm really excited for you guys to experience that later in the video. And it also makes it feel just extremely smooth because again, you got no chain rolling on gears. It's just a hub spinning your tire. Well guys, as far as bike assembly goes, it doesn't really get much easier than this. All you do is quick release your bars on, tighten these, tighten that, adjust your setup here, screw your foot pegs on, and then like I said, you know, you really should be checking every single bolt to make sure it's tight, but that's it. I mean, I'm done. Like, kickstand's already on, everything's ready to go. All right, time for our top speed run. I got my GPS cycling computer here. Let's see how fast the version 3 goes. All right, we're doing good. We're at 33 miles an hour. Come on. 34. This thing is so quiet. 35. Come on. All right, we're calling it. All right, how did we do on our top speed? Let's check this out. All right. 35 miles an hour, right on the dot. That's exactly what our display said, so that's perfect. They actually improved over the version 2 because their speedometer is even more accurate, but we are getting about the exact same top speed of 35. And I weigh 190 pounds and I'm 6'3" for reference on this small bike. It is time to go over the specs of the Roadrunner V3. To start off, we have a 48 volt, 26 amp hour battery, and we have dual 500 watt hub motors. So we've got one back here in the rear, one up here in the front. Now this is more powerful than the previous version 2. We'll talk about all the differences here in a second. Surron Motors quotes the top speed of the Roadrunner 3 between 34 and 40 miles an hour, depending on how much you weigh. Now, I weigh 190 pounds and I'm 6'3". I'm a little bit of a bigger dude, and so you guys saw in that top speed run, we got 35 miles an hour, which I still think is great. We have this built-in LCD display right here. You can turn the bike on just like that. On here, we have our speed, our battery, our modes, which you can toggle up 1, 2, and 3. We also have our miles for our trip meter. Over here, we have turn signals, which you guys can see on the rear of the bike. We have our horn, and we have our headlight. You can toggle that on and off. Over on the right side, we have our throttle, and we have the rocket button and the eco mode button built into it now. We also have these new grips that are now lock on and have this bigger paddle to them. I also noticed that the brakes are an upgrade over the version 2, and after riding it, there definitely is a noticeable difference there. If we move back to the back of the bike, this is where one of the bigger differences lies. We have suspension now. The version 2 did not have suspension. It was just a straight frame right here. We also have a detachable rear swing arm. So instead of the frame just being all one piece, you can now detach it, and they say this is so that you can put an upgraded swing arm or mod the bike in a different way. Some people like to do an extended version here to be able to handle upgraded power or things like that. So we love to see the suspension after riding it. That is a noticeable difference as well. We also have these fender tips, so that sticks out further and up on both front and rear. So that's gonna help just keep that water off of you and your bike when you're riding in the wet. And did I mention the battery is removable? So it comes with a key. You pop it in right down here on the side. You're gonna pop that and you give it a nice little tug and that comes out. So there's your battery. You can charge it while it's in the bike or while it's out of the bike. Right there's your charge port. And this makes transporting the bike extremely easy. It's really light. I mean, I can just lift it up just like that. And you can also fold up the handlebars. So if you're throwing it in the car or on a train or something, you pop this down, lift this up, lift that up, and boom, there you go. They fold up and you can really tuck this bike away. And then if you want to fold them back up, pop those in, pop it back up, snap it down, pop that, and you're done. That's it, ready to go. Here we have the Roadrunner V2 that we recently reviewed. Let's quickly go over all the differences that I noticed so far. As we mentioned, that rear suspension. You can see this is just built in right on the frame. We do have the exact same battery. It is also removable, same size, same capacity. But as I mentioned, we do have a more powerful front hub motor on the version 3. It goes from 350 watts up to 500 watts. That also means a more powerful controller for the front motor for the added power. We also have those better brakes. Tires are different. I would say it's an upgrade with the different tread pattern. One other cool thing about the V3 that I forgot to mention is you can add a pedal kit. So on this bike, they include a sprocket already on the rear wheel, and you can buy a kit right here that removes the pegs, adds pedals, and adds a chain to connect to that. That's super awesome because some places you can get in trouble for not having pedals on your e-bike. If you have pegs, it does limit you in certain situations, but if you have pedals, you can still use the throttle and also pedal if you need to, and sometimes get in less trouble. Okay guys, we are going on a mission now. Romney has some stuff to return to Home Depot, so we are cruising there. And then we also need to purchase some garbage bags. Our shop's out of big black garbage bags, so that's what we're on the hunt for today. And these two bikes, the Roadrunner V2 and V3, are our tickets today because we can ride legally on the road, we can be quiet, we can ride in an urban environment really well, and we're gonna see how these bad boys do.
Lance is on the V3. Nice thing about this bike is it's got blinkers. Going left. Turn the blinker off. Kind of wish it automatically go off, but
these little bikes are so fun to cruise around town on. I just wish it wasn't winter.
Hit the jump.
We gotta make it to Home Depot, but it's too fun riding these things.
Home Depot, here we come.
Tell you what, like any other dudes, we would love $1 million gift card to Home Depot. So, Home Depot, if you're watching, sponsor us. What is this?
For no reason at all.
I do have one of those, so you better catch up. Let's go. Gotta find our trash bags. No clue where they're gonna be here. Definitely not garbage bags.
I'll steal like 10 of them.
All right.
Got them.
Got them. Mission accomplished. On to the next stop. All right, we're doing 29 miles an hour. Not bad. You can get around pretty fast on these things. Okay, our next stop is a fun one. Here we are.
All right, just leaving the motorcycle store. I'm on the V3. Lance is back there on the V2. Immediate impression is got to put it in turbo mode, make it speed up. But once it's in turbo mode, it definitely picks up. I think it's got better handling compared to that one. Might just be wider tires. Definitely got better suspension for sure. Every one of these bumps is a lot smoother, a lot nicer on my butt. Feels pretty good. The rear suspension is squishy. Like, I'm bouncing up and down right now and it's taking it like a champ. But the brakes are a big difference. Brakes, the other one you'd have to squeeze like halfway, and then the last 2/3 you'd have to squeeze 2/3. The last 1/3 would like initiate the brake. This one, you start to feel the brakes as soon as you squeeze them.
Well, we switched and I'm now back on the version 2 bike, and there's not too much difference. There are a few changes that you can feel. That one, having the rear suspension, does make a difference. It definitely adds a little bit of comfort, you know, to the seat and to the rear wheel, so that makes a difference. I would say they are exactly the same speed and power. They have the same battery capacity and size. I do like the brakes on that bike better. I think it has good cable routing. All in all, you know, not a huge difference. Like, if you already have the V2, it's not worth like selling it to upgrade to the V3, but it's great that they're making changes over time and updating their products.
All right, guys, just got done with our errands on the Roadrunners. It was super fun. We had a blast.
Okay, it's time to wrap up this video. Let's just recap really quick. We got the V2 and the V3 Roadrunners. We really put them to the test. We've spent more time on the V2 now, but I can tell you that the V3 does make a difference. Those changes that they added, that rear suspension and the more power to the front hub motor and a few other minor things, they do make the ride more enjoyable. And the brakes, I forgot to mention the brakes. That's probably the biggest thing we noticed. It's, for some reason, I mean, they're like the same size and they feel very similar, but they are more powerful and they just grab in a smoother way. So it's easier to ride with. If you guys are interested in the V2, it's on super sale right now. But if you want the newer, latest and greatest V3, it's a great deal as well. Surron Motors always hooks us up with the good pricing on bikes, scooters, and everything. If you guys are interested, go check the link down in the video description. We appreciate you watching. Catch our next video. It's going to be super exciting. See ya.